Indeed, we've got Angel One. That's the first corporate on Trading Hour today. The broking firm posted a very strong February business update, a 15% rise in gross client acquisition and market share gains in all its segments except cash. In fact, the commodity segment market share has gone up by 600 basis points, the highest in the last 18 quarters. We're now joined by Dinesh Thakkar, who is the CMD of Angel One, to take some questions for us. Mr. Thakkar, morning, and thanks so much for joining in.
Morning.
The month
Morning.
of
Thank you for
February
inviting.
was extremely volatile for our markets, yet you've reported the highest ever day orders. How sustainable is the number? Are you continuing with that run rate even now?
Yeah, we are seeing kind of like a good traction of volume from existing as well as new customers. So like our strategy is to go to a pocket which are virgin and who have not experienced much about equity market. So kind of like market that we are targeting and we are addressing, I think this kind of momentum can continue looking at under penetration in all those pockets.
Per day orders of about 4.2 million is sustainable?
See, like it depends on market condition and lots of things. But if you look at the band that we have clocked, always it is around 4.1 million or 4.2 million. So that range seems to be quite stable, despite we saw lots of kind of like headwind for this last 3 or 4 quarters. So based on like an historical trend, what I am seeing and the market that we are addressing, it appears to be it's a sustainable trend. But if we see a good market condition, which appears to be on the radar, I think we can see an improved kind of like participation from existing and new customers.
All right, got that. Good morning, Mr. Thakkar. Thanks for joining us. This is Pavitra. You know, I was looking at your average revenue per client. That seems to have come down. I think in Q3, it's down around 7%. Can you take us through a little bit of how much of a competition are you seeing in terms of, brokerages offering lower fee? That's one. And what is the kind of average revenue that we can expect going forward?
Yeah, so to look at average revenue per customer based on, like, as I said, that new pockets that we are acquiring. New pockets that we are going, they are quite young customer with kind of lesser kind of like capabilities in terms of wallet and all that. But we are looking at longevity of this kind of customer is far higher than old set of customers. So when we are acquiring a new customer who are new to market, they are not as active as old customers, like customers who went to urban tier 1 and maybe tier 2. So what we look at is that what is an average revenue that we get from a customer and what's the cost of acquisition. So when we look at business metrics, it appears that metrics remain same if it is urban customer or a customer from tier 3 or tier 4. So what I would like to say is that business metrics are as healthy as they were with urban and tier 1. But revenue that we are getting from younger customer would be lower than compared to relatively what we are getting from our old customers.
But then I'm guessing you're planning to continue with this, right? Trying to acquire younger customers as well. So does that mean the average revenue will continue at around 400?
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. We have to look at the metrics that even cost of acquisition also reduces proportionate to revenue.
Yeah. Okay.
So if we talk about margins, that we always have given a statement that we will maintain our operating margin of 50%. So that metrics remain same. So if you look at growth of this pocket of younger population, it is quite huge.
Okay, all right. So if you keep adding on that segment of customers, of course, that is something which will have an impact, and we'll track that as well. But in your commodity segment, we've seen a lot of volatility there as well. You have gained market share. It has come in at 56.9% in February versus 51.1% in January. What led to this jump? And again, is this something that you are seeing in March so far and will continue?
So it is very difficult to predict when we are at a very high market share because it lots of depends on market condition. So what I can say that kind of like app that we have for commodity, people have got very used to our features and they like our features. So we are seeing when we are going to newer pockets where people are comfortable doing commodity apart from equity, we are getting a major market share. So taking a call whether it will remain, whether it will continue growing after this stage of 51-55% would be a very difficult call.
So when you're talking about apps and people using your apps for commodity transactions, what are the kind of downloads that you've seen? You're split between digital and the online transactions that people do?
Most of our transactions are done on online and digital platforms. So we have customer across like mobile app, and web platform. But majority of our customer comes on our mobile app.
Majority of your customers come on the mobile app. Mr. Thakkar, the resignation of your CEO, Narayan Gangadhar, came in as a negative surprise for the markets when it happened in the middle of February. He was amongst the key hires that you made. He scaled up the digital capabilities. He led the business transformation. Can you tell us the thinking in terms of hiring a new CEO, internal, external, timeline? Do you have anyone in mind?
Sure. So we were looking at next 5 years when we want a kind of a CEO who can take us forward in terms of multiple journeys that we are building apart from broking services. So as you know that we have recently launched Super App, and now we are looking for somebody who can be very kind of well-rounded in terms of tech as well as business side, and should be having a good exposure on multiple services in financial services. So we are looking out for a CEO who would be having this kind of capabilities. So most probably it would be external.
Okay, and any timeline in mind? Have you zeroed in on a few candidates?
No, we have to yet start zeroing down on candidates. So process of searching candidate is on. Okay. So it will take around 7 to 8 months for us to get a CEO in place.
Okay. All right, got that. Just one more question from my end. You were talking about the customer acquisition cost also going down because, you are looking at these new pockets as well. Can you just take us through where that stands right now?
So when I say customer acquisition going down, I don't mean exactly in terms of absolute number. So we look at CAC to LTV. So when we look to CAC to LTV of a younger population, that LTV seems to be spread across many more years than old set of customers. So when we look at that ratio, it appears disproportionate to what we are spending for old customers.
Okay. Mr. Thakkar, last question before we let you go. We are talking about a lot of things happening in the markets, outlook going forward as well. In that sense, what would your margin picture look like? It, of course, has been increasing. 2019 was 26%, 2022 was 40%, and that is something you've been able to maintain in Q3 as well. Is there a margin band in mind which you will ensure that you achieve?
Yeah. So always we have, said in our analyst call and all that, we would like to maintain a margin of 45 to 50%, because we have already in that scale where we have kicked in operating leverages and all that. But our focus is more on getting market share of new pockets. If you look at India, as I said, it is hugely underpenetrated. So we are spending more to go to that pockets, acquire customer. So we would be very happy in terms of spending higher margin on research, technology, and acquisition, and maintaining our margin of 45 to 50%.
Okay, that's a pickup compared to your current margins of 41%, right?
No, currently they are at the region of around 51, 52%.
Okay, so you're anticipating a slight dip in margins perhaps, given the investments?
No, see, we have launched Super App, so definitely we have to spend on branding. As I said, that we would like to be aggressive on acquiring market share of new pockets and all that. So we'd like to be into that investment mode of spending more money to acquire market share.